I'm Zemi, and welcome back to my midlife crisis. Today, I'm coming to you with a new skin for the start of a new server. I am making this video to showcase everything that's happened in the first week after the start of Season 7 of ScarWorld. I will explain what that is all about in just a moment, but first I wanted to say I'm doing this introduction a little bit after I finish my video because I wanted to explain that I had a few little technical problems with this video. My replay mod wasn't working too well, there was a lot of server lag, and a lot of my OBS videos weren't doing too well, so it's a little bit shorter than usual, but honestly, I think it all worked out well in the end. So I just wanted to say buckle up because we are about to hit the start of something I've never done before, which is the start of a server. Hope you enjoy. I logged in right as the server opened up and it was absolute chaos. There was over 100 players trying to get on. You can see all their little footprints on the ground here, which I actually did remove them from the video because I didn't necessarily have their permission to film them. But this is the incredible spawn hub that the mods for the Good Times with Scar Patreon server, ScarWorld, have built for us. It's called the Good Times International Airport because the theme for Season 7 is travel. And you can see the incredible care and attention that they put into this with the control tower, the helicopter, the airplanes. There were even NPCs that would have prearranged lines. There was Scar and Skiz and other people in security. And as you go inside, they had even already set up a rudimentary nether portal for us, which was amazing. Now, there were two cities you could choose from to start with. This is Campfire Cove, which is where I chose to settle because I wanted the vibe. Now, we don't know what happened to the people who were previously here, but yeah, I'm sure it was nothing bad, right? Anyways, the center of Campfire Cove is this amazing watchtower, and the view from up here was incredible. And this is why I wanted to settle here because it was such a beautiful vista. The other city, Sunset Sands, is in the desert, and I did some desert builds last season, so I was feeling pretty happy to settle, at least for my starter base, in a more forested area. Now, the first thing you need to do when you start any new Minecraft world is punch some wood. So I spent some time doing that, gathering up some resources for the start of the game, the early game stuff, including getting stone and coal, making myself crafting benches, and eventually going to look for some iron. Then it was time for me to choose where I wanted to put my starter base, and I found a lovely spot overlooking the cove, overlooking the watchtower, and I did what I usually do, made myself a hidey hole. And here I am in my little starter hole in the cliff. This is my usual way of starting Minecraft, which is to build into a nice space in a cliff and make somewhere that mobs can't get at me, where I can have a bed, where I can have my crafting table, my furnaces, and start storing up some of my stuff. Now, obviously, this isn't my plan for my starter base. This is just somewhere to be safe while I work on my starter base. My plan for a starter base, in keeping with the Campfire Cove aesthetic, is a giant tree stump. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, but I have got some serious gathering of wood, particularly some nice spruce wood to get, and I've got to get some dark oak, and I've got to get a bunch of other things, and then I'm going to start building. So I will show you what that looks like in a little bit. Well, that was a lot of resource gathering, and I am now at the point where I have the outline of my stump all done. I haven't done any detailing yet, but I figured I might as well show everyone what this looks like. This is going to be my starter base here. My full base on ScarWorld is going to be something quite different, but this is where I'm going to spend a good bit of time while I'm doing resource gathering, and I like building next to other people. And as you can see, there's lots of other people around, all of them putting up these absolutely adorable cabins and other builds. But this is what my build looks like at the moment. I'm just going to go into free cam here and show you my stump. So right now I just have the outline of what my stump is looking like. So as you can see, it's made out of spruce wood, and I sort of capped off all of the brighter tops to the spruce wood with some dark oak planks, just to sort of give it more of a smooth appearance, so it's not breaking up the look of the tree stump darkness. So this is the first part of it. This is what the general shape is going to be like, and now it's time for me to start doing some detailing. So what kind of details do I want to put on? Well, I want moss on some of this because it's going to be a mossy stump on top. I'd like some flowers and bushes, maybe a couple of maybe a branch going off at a certain place up the stump. I'd also like to have some like mushrooms growing off the stump and maybe other flowers. So this is what it's looking like at the moment, and I'm super happy with that, and I'm super happy with the shape and how it turned out. As you can see, it's very empty inside as well. So the inside I'll be doing on a different episode, but for the outside now, I've got to go start gathering some moss and gathering some mushrooms and things I can make big mushrooms out of and things I can make flowers out of, and then I'll be starting to do the detailing. Here I am on top of my big old stump, and I am super happy with how all the detailing around the stump has gone. So putting the different pieces of moss in, putting the ferns and the flowers, and I really like this bamboo sort of at the highest point to sort of make it look really pointy and like it's sticking up towards the sky. I've even added some shelves to kind of look like bowls or burls in the stump. I might do a few more of those later, but I'm thinking about it. And I've added some detailing of stripped dark oak wood to try and just give a little bit of contrast, give a little bit of like it's worn down, like it's old. It's supposed to be an old stump that's being lived in now. So I'm really happy with how the outside and the shaping for this has gone and how the detailing's gone. And now it is time to add a bit of life to the build. And that means adding some movement. So I think there's a couple things I want to do. One, I want to see if I can find some rabbits. I like rabbits, they're fun. And if I could have some hopping around the bottom of my build, you can see down there, if I could have them hopping around down there, that'd be kind of cool. I'll need to keep them on leashes, of course, but that'd still be fun. The other is some bees because I've got lots of flowers on here and I would like to get some bees that'll fly out during the day, add some movement and interest to the build, and then fly back in at night. Plus, they have honey, which is always nice. And then I think I'm going to add a chimney out the top of this stump to make it look lived in. I might do a little bit more like some windows and stuff like that, but I think I'm going to save that for next episode when I actually do the interior. But I think because they'll need to actually connect to what I'm building in the interior, but I don't think a chimney needs to. Maybe even like almost like a stovepipe kind of idea. You know, the sort of goes up and over and look, you know, has kind of like almost a triangular section on top. I think that'd look really cool. Here I am outside, the finished outside of my big old stump, as the sign says, and I am super happy with the result. All of the landscaping, all of the additions we made to give depth to the build, to give life to the build. We've got some bunnies, we've got some bees, which got some up on the roof. I'm going to put a few more in and around the actual stump itself, but they're giving some life and build, and I am so happy with how my stovepipe turned out. I think it looks amazing. I tried a couple of different iterations of it. It was so much fun, and yeah, I'm really happy with how the outside of this build has turned out. So next time I'm going to work on the inside because I need some more storage. I'm going to start digging out the inside of the stump and giving myself an area to do that and an area to live in until I start working on my main build, my sort of, I guess it is a mega build this year, which is kind of a new concept to me. But yes, I'm building something very large and very intricate in a lot of ways. So you'll just have to wait and hear what that's all about. But in the meantime, I have been Zemi. This has been my midlife crisis, and I will see you next time.